And Shmita, I think you've said it very succinctly when you compared Sachin Tendulkar to a Marvel comic character, where at times we see that a character can be very bland or two-dimensional. But I think that the best part of this book, in my opinion, is the fact that you were able to present a three-dimensional Tendulkar, not just the comic book superhero, per se, but a flawed individual who has had, his strengths, his moments in the sun, but also his weaknesses. So, do you feel that in that sense you've helped to present a contrarian truth to the world as far as Sachin Tendulkar is concerned?
Yes, I mean, make no mistake about it. I mean, I absolutely admired Tendulkar's batting. I think it was wonderful to see, uh, and it gave so much pleasure to so many people. I'm not undermining that at all, but you needed that Watts and all picture. Otherwise it's boring. I mean, you keep praising the guy, and most of the time it's not true. It's boring, and actually it demeans a person. You're not really looking at the real genius of the guy. I mean, what were you doing when you were 15 years old? Think about what you were doing when you were 15, right? And this guy was in the Indian team facing, like, I think, Wasim Akram, Wakar Yunus in New Zealand. He almost reached a century. That would have been the youngest ever test century. I think he fell short by 8 runs. And then, like, when he was 16, he went to Manchester, and in a match that India were losing, he held on and played it out to a draw with, I think, Manoj Prabhakar or some bowler for company. So that's a fantastic talent, right? Unfortunately, I think the marketing hype and everything around building a persona like that, and that was like early days of one day cricket, right? Where this was getting built up, this huge hype over superheroes. So that ultimately it got to him, and that's human. I suppose it's difficult not to fall into that trap of playing for milestones, because that's what is getting promoted, right? I mean, how many centuries and your 100th century and so on, so forth. So it's difficult. And he came from a very middle class background in Bombay, where the urge to succeed, the drivers to success were so ingrained and built into you, right? So you have to think about making it yourself first. In a team game, that doesn't work. And there was a stage in his career where he could have let those things by and just focused on building the team. Why he didn't? He's human. The human frailty.